Jen.
And Terry.
And welcome to Coffee Talk.
Home inspections is one of the most important things you can do when you're buying your home. And so today we've got Cory Frith from Buyer's Choice Inspections here with us. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, Cory. We're so glad to have you here. So why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So Cory Frith with the Buyer's Choice Home Inspections. I purchased the franchise about 4 years ago. We're the largest franchise for home inspection companies in Canada and still growing. I bought the franchise because I liked the values and the integrity that came with it. My background was doing, in the field, doing some of the work with kitchen bath renovations. Then I was in sales for electrical and plumbing, and then came into project management. And through the years, kind of got away from that and missed it. It's a passion of mine. So buying this franchise really married all that together. And it's just an amazing feeling to go out there and help people in the process of buying their home and make sure that they can make some informed decisions.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. So what are the qualifications for a home inspector?
Yeah, well, interestingly enough, in Ontario, there really aren't any. Some provinces, you must be licensed as a home inspector. And in Ontario, that isn't in place yet. But with the Buyer's Choice Home Inspections, one of their qualifications are before you can go to market with their business, we all must be licensed regardless of what the provincial requirements are. So to answer the question in short, there are no requirements. With myself, though, being with that experience in the field, and then buying the franchise, we take the home inspection course through Carson Dunlop College.
Okay.
And then after that, we go through Internachi, and they're the licensing body for home inspectors. We write that exam. So altogether, we write about 11 exams. And once you've passed with grades over 80%, then you're licensed.
Yeah.
With our company, that's still not enough. They make us go through and we actually inspect a home. We work for a week with a master inspector, and they have a home all set up for us. And you have to nail the inspection 100%, identify all the deficiencies they have preset in the home. And once that's done, and you have proof of your business insurance and errors and omissions, then they allow you to take their company, your business, to the market and start working.
Wow.
So it is a process for us.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So why should someone get a home inspection?
I think there's a lot of reasons. It's a great operator's manual or owner's manual for the home. When my parents bought a home inspections didn't exist. And I still have family members say, well, why should I get a home inspection? Gone are the days where Uncle Bill comes over and looks at the home, looks around, and kind of pokes a few things, says, well, it has good bones. The building envelope of a home has changed so much since then. And there's so much more technology in a home now. So many people, I've actually worked with some clients where they're new to Canada. They moved here from South America, and they'll ask me, well, what's that? I'm like, well, that's your furnace. They've never seen one.
Yeah.
So, there's many reasons for the home inspection to take place. And the big thing is to allow us to go in there and inspect all the components of the home and write a report that speaks to the condition of those components when you're making your purchase. And now you can make an informed decision. We can get into all the little spots that maybe a family member may not. We can open up the electrical panel and look at things. We can get into the attic space, up onto the roof. We have technology that we'll use. If the roof isn't accessible, we'll use a drone, inspect the roof with that. There's other tools in our bag as well that allow us to take a little more in-depth look into the home and allow us to really scratch below the surface.
Yeah.
Well, the last home inspection I was on with you, you had a neat little tool. So why don't you tell us about it?
It's always keep it in my pocket. It's always close to home. But it's just my infrared camera. It plugs right into my phone. And it allows us to do thermal imaging on the home. So because home inspections aren't invasive, we're not cutting open walls and that kind of thing. It does allow us to look, though, through the drywall and verify that we have full insulation. There's no voids. Or if we're looking at the foundation, if there's water coming in, we'll be able to pick that up with a thermal camera as well. And then lastly, and to me, perhaps even most importantly, is we can use it to scan the electrical panel and see if there's any hot spots, which either overloaded circuits or loose connections, which are potential fire hazards. And those are things that we can't see with our human eye. And that technology allows us to see that then. So that's part of some of the advantages of having a home inspection done by a licensed, trained home inspector.
And having the right tools.
Yes, for sure. Technology is always changing.
Oh my God.
So we can always learn and we always expand our services.
Yeah. So we've shifted from the heated sellers market into a more balanced market, and you were doing a lot of pre-inspections, and now we're back into doing mostly full inspections. So what are the main differences between a pre-inspection and a full inspection?
Sure. So I think everyone's pretty familiar with the full inspections. We ask for 3 hours of time with the home. We don't always need that much time, but we don't know what we're going to see till we get there. And that's where it allows us to really give an in-depth inspection of all aspects of the home: the roof, the attic, foundation, electrical, plumbing. We'll check all the windows and electrical outlets that are accessible, making sure things are wired correctly, and then provide them with a full report. That's our standard home inspection. Now, this past year, we did a lot of pre-offer advisory services. For us, we didn't refer to them as an inspection because as soon as we say inspection, it needs to include a report. And because we didn't have that time, we were in the home for half an hour to 60 minutes if we were fortunate enough. We would still inspect everything, but we didn't call it an inspection because of that piece that was missing. That was the report. But within that hour, we could still go through the home and check everything and really give that client a lot of information about the property and how things are performing. And it was a service that was never provided years previous because we've never experienced a market like we just came through.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So good. Yeah. So and one of our big questions that we have is doing inspections at different times of the year. So what are the summer inspection, the winter inspection? What are the major differences?
Yeah, every season brings pros and cons. So right now, here we are starting off winter. We finally have some snow, and it really limits some things that we can see on the exterior. We can't see the grading as well. We're not going to be able to inspect maybe in depth the driveway, the walkway, maybe areas around the deck. Some roofs we're still able to get on depending on the pitch. But again, we can't see the shingles. So those are some of the cons, I guess, with wintertime. But some of the pros, now we can see all the ice damming that's taking place. If we have insulation issues or ventilation issues in the attic,
that's a big one.
They're much easier to identify. Also, when we go into the attics, we can really see evidence if things aren't vented correctly or sealed correctly through the ceiling and all the penetration points. We'll find a lot of the frost in the attic that just isn't visible in the summertime. And you can't see those areas because it's covered with insulation. So those are some of the pros and cons with wintertime. Same can be said though with spring. It's a great time to inspect a home because now all the snow is melting, right? It's a wet season. It really puts a lot of pressure on the foundations. And we can see how basements are performing, see how sump pumps are performing. We can see how eaves troughs are performing. But now I can't see ice damming, right? So in wintertime, when we pull up and every house has snow on the roof, but this house doesn't, immediately we know we have a problem up there. So there's some telltales that each season does bring us. Benefits of summer, well, it's beautiful to inspect. But now we're fighting with the bugs.
Not so much in the attic.
The attic's quite hot in the summer. So every season brings its challenges. But again, that's where having the right tool in the bag helps us to give your clients, our clients, that more in-depth knowledge. The moisture meter we use allows us to look at, even though walls appear to be dry, or if we find evidence of past water staining, we see a lot in ceilings of basements below bathrooms or kitchens. With our moisture meter, allows us to check those water stains and see if they're still active or not. And then we can give that information to your clients as well. Again, just insight that maybe they otherwise wouldn't receive from having maybe a family member or someone come walk through the home with them.
Now, a question that we get asked a lot is who pays for the home inspection?
Quite often it is the buyer that's going to sell, or buyer is going to pay for the home inspection. We do have some homes though where we do a pre-listing inspection where the seller is going to provide potential buyers with a copy of their home inspection that we completed for them, in which case then obviously the seller paid for it. We do see that from time to time. And there's obviously different opinions on that. The one big one though is if you're selling the home, it kind of gives you a little more control over the sale. And if there's any issues with your home, you have the opportunity to correct them before putting it on market and really put a nice product up there for sale. Or you have issues in the home, you can get some quotes so you can show it to your buyers. Hey, here's our home. We've had it inspected by a licensed inspector. Here's the issues they found. Here's quotes to have that fixed. Our price reflects that. And it helps you, help organize the sale. So that's the benefit piece with that. And I know some people will say, well, they paid the home
Mm-hmm.
inspector, so they made the report look a certain way. Our onus is always to the home.
Yeah.
We don't pass and fail a home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my inspection report, whether it's for the buyer, the seller, it's always to the home. That's
Mm-hmm.
our due diligence, to the home. And then we also offer the buyers, if they like, we'll come back and re-inspect that property that we
Mm-hmm.
already did the pre-listing on for half the price. We'll walk through it. If they fix things, we'll inspect those areas they fixed. Or at least we can walk them through our previous report, show them the deficiencies we found, talk more in depth about them.
Mm-hmm.
But it also allows us now, the accountability is on us, not on the seller. When they buy that report from us, we will update it, and now we transfer our warranty over to them.
Okay.
Now they have a 90-day warranty on that home inspection report from the day that we inspected it for the buyer now, not the seller.
Yeah.
And where are you going to get a home inspection done for half price by a licensed inspector?
Yeah.
So we really try to protect all parties involved in the process.
Yeah.
Ourselves, the buyers, the sellers, all of the realtors involved with it. And that's our motto, is to assist, comfort, protect. Mm-hmm. So I really think a buyer's choice is doing a great job at covering all aspects of the sale.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, well, we really appreciate. We could be here all day talking about inspections, and I love being on an inspection and following. I'm always asking questions, and I'm learning. I'm always learning, and we're there working, with our clients, and so anyway, it's just great information. We really appreciate you being here. If you have more information, email us info@theaimsteam.ca. Check out Cory's information on our site. And thanks again. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Join us next week.